What is up, guys? This is Anti-Gravity Dog coming at you guys with another video in the MoP Beta. Just like my other videos, I am on my Rep Paladin Meredith. He is currently level 90 after leveling up through Mist Pandaria. He's wearing all the 43 PvP gear you get once you hit level 90, located in the Veil of Blossoms. And the purpose of this video tonight, folks, is to give you a rundown on the state of Retribution Paladins, glyphs, talent choices, and basic rotation and some tips. So let's get started, shall we? I guess we can start with talents. First off, Blizzard's goal with this new talent system was basically, you gotta choose, you have your personal preference on all talent choices, but it all basically evens out to equal DPS. So I'm hoping what they said is true, because it'd be awesome. It's gonna be awesome if I can take this talent build to live. So basically, for the level 15 talent, there's no DPS gain from this, but long arm of the law. Well, it can be considered a DPS gain depending on the situation used. To close the gap from a boss using the judgment. But basically, successful judgment increases your movement speed by 45% for 3 seconds. Basically, that does, just give you an idea of what it looks like. You cast judgment and you run faster for some time. And basically, the reason I chose that is because on live servers right now, that's basically an already in talent that you basically choose just as a filler talent to get to the next tier talents. And I'm so used to it since I've been playing it for so long, it just felt really weird without it. So that's one reason why I chose it. And basically, I don't really like abilities that you have to use. It just adds another ability to keep in mind. And then there is Pursuit of Justice, which I did not pick up because that's just Pursuit of Justice. You gain 10% movement speed at all times, and then plus 10% for each. That's basically 40% movement speed when you have 3 holy power, but that really didn't interest me that much, to be honest, because long arm of the law, so I can have more uptime on speed increase to 45% speed increase is more uptime on that than on the 40% increase. But no, that I'm rambling now. Let's go to level 30 talent here. This was a tough one for me, but basically I chose Fist of Justice just because when I was choosing these, I kept in mind that I was going to be questing, and I thought Fist of Justice, it's a Hodge, Hammer of Justice. Sends a target for 6 seconds on a 3-second cooldown, and that came real handy on the leveling, just because there'd be situations where I was close to death and I just Hodge, or Fist of Justice, sorry, Fodge him, and I just heal up. There's Repentance, which is basically it's a casted thing. It's what it is on live servers right now, if you have any idea of it. And it's casted now. I have no idea why I decided to make it castable, but it's kind of dumb. I might switch to this for CC and heroic dungeons and raids when raids become live, which is going to be later today, because I'm making this video at 2:36 AM because I have nothing better to do. Next one is Burden of Guilt. Your judgment hits fill the target with doubt and remorse, reducing movement speed by 50% for 12 seconds. There's really, from a PvE standpoint, there's no reason at all to get this, like at all. And from a PvP standpoint, Fist of Justice is so much better to get, stun. A 30-second stun is so much better than a slow, in my opinion. But hey, that's, like I said, it's just my opinion. And this is all personal preference, guys. If you feel like you want to, use Burden of Guilt or Repentance in, whatever situation you want, then power to you. The next 45 talent tier, level 45 talent tier, I chose Sacred Shield. Once again, I kept in mind that I would be leveling, and I thought Sacred Shield would be a lot better than the other choices. But I'm probably gonna switch to Stealth Sealer for PvP. Cause I'm probably gonna be doing some BGs soon. I'll be putting this up on my channel. But basically, Sacred Shield, the tooltip says, protects the target with a shield of holy light for 30 seconds, which increases the critical chance of your flash of light on the target by 30%. The shield also absorbs 15k damage when the target takes damage, but no more than once every 6 seconds. That basically it's like a shitty version of Power Wheel Shield. But the main reason I usually use Sacred Shield was to, pop that, get an increased crit chance of my flash of light here. And just an example, put your shield up and flash of light. Is it a crit? Nope. This next one will be a crit, I guarantee it. Oh, no. Well, basically, it increases your flash of light crit chance by quite a bit. which is what I chose because I felt that it would a nice little defensive ability would be nice in questing, because they hit really fucking hard on the pre-made when you're first doing the questing on a pre-made on the beta, because I'm not playing on my account, I'm playing on a friend's account, and I wanted to play Ret Paladin, but she does not have a level 85 Ret Paladin, or Ret Paladin scared as my Ret Paladin. So I got a pre-made in 378, and he was just getting completely shat on, and I finally expected the Sacred Shield, just for this amount of help, and it's a big help. The level 60 tier, I just kind of chose a random ability because it didn't really affect me during the leveling, but nice voice crack. But right now I'm spec'ing a Hand of Purity, which places a hand on a friendly target, reducing damage and harmful periodic effects by 70% for 6 seconds. Player may that instant I needed. It basically is, when you have dots on you, put that on you and you take a lot less damage, which if you're going up against like a Shadow Priest or a Warlock, it's gonna be awesome. I could see that probably getting nerfed to like maybe 50% damage reduction from dots, even though it's only 6 seconds, so it seems really OP. What I'm probably gonna spec into though, which might change after the video, is Clemency, which is you can use Hand of Freedom, Hand of Protection, Hand of Sacrifice, and Hand of Salvation twice, each before incurring their cooldowns, which basically means, I use Hand of Freedom, but let's pretend this wasn't on cooldown and I gotta use it again right away. And then we go on to its cooldown. Basically, I gotta use it twice before the cooldown comes into effect. Next here, we are level level 75 talent tier. I chose Holy Avenger, which is if you play Ret Paladin, it's basically Zealotry, but for 15 seconds of 20 seconds. Holy Avenger reads, the abilities that generate holy power will generate 3 charges of holy power for the next 15 seconds. Can't really speak today, mouth's really dry. But what basically means our abilities to generate holy power, which are Crusader Strike, Judgment, Exorcism, and Hammer of Wrath. When you use these abilities with Holy Avenger active, you will gain 3 holy power. Let's check it out real quick. Where's my Holy Avenger? Activate that. Crusader Strike, 3 holy power. Crusader Strike, 3 holy power. Judgment, 3 holy power. Yeah. The reason I chose this is, once again, I'm really familiar with Ret Paladins currently, and on live servers, and Holy Avenger is basically Zealotry, and it just felt really weird doing, DPSing without Holy Avenger. Something else I see people using is Sanctified Wrath, which is basically Avenging Wrath lasts 50% longer and grants more frequent access to one of the abilities. And for Ret Paladins, it's basically 50% less reduced cooldown on Hammer of Wrath. I fiddled with this a little bit. It felt kind of weird not having Zealotry, and I know it's another cooldown to keep aware of, but with proper management of the cooldown, I like it a lot more than Avenging Sanctified Wrath. And Divine Purpose is basically abilities that cost holy power will have a 50% chance to cast Divine Purpose effect, which is basically free 3 holy power. Yeah, that. Our Paladins are so plagued with RNG on live servers. I was so glad not to have to deal with Divine Purpose anymore. And the level 90 tier is I expect in a Holy Prism, which is basically tooltip reads, sends a beam of light towards a target, turning them into a prism for holy energy. If an enemy is the prism, they take 26k holy damage and radiate 19k healing to 5 enemies within 15 yards, and basically the same thing if used on an ally, but they get 26 healing, and then the 19k radiation. Radiation sounds bad, but you know what I mean. Basically the reason I chose this was for a gap filler, because Rets no longer have Holy Wrath, and without that gap filler, the rotation felt kind of clunky, and I thought, hey, Holy Prism, use that as a gap filler. The other two, I guess, Execution Sentence can basically fill the same thing, but it's on a 1-minute cooldown, and Light's Hammer's on a 1-minute cooldown. I chose Holy Prism because it's on a 20-second cooldown, which is pretty similar to Holy Wrath. And I have a feeling Holy Prism is supposed to basically replace Holy Wrath in terms of the Ret Paladin rotation, but we'll get into rotations a little bit later. Yeah, those are the talents, guys. Let's check out the glyphs. I have nothing to say about the glyphs right now, though. They're pretty lax. Not really anything. Really any glyphs that really increased the damage dealt. Glyphs don't really increase damage dealt at all. Basically, what I've noticed, it's more for healing. Using Avenging Wrath, Glyph Avenging Wrath basically heals me every 4 seconds when it's active. Glyph Templar's Verdict, 10% less damage for 6 seconds after dealing damage to the Templar's Verdict, and Glyph of Word of Glory increases damage by 3% per holy power spent after you cast Word of Glory. These are basically heavily PvP-oriented talents that I use whenever I do a BG, and this is the reason I chose them, because none of these really help from a PvE perspective. And then the minor gloves are just basically purely aesthetic, eye-pleasing, eye candy. Something you can enjoy. I'm not going to go over those because they have nothing to do with DPS. Okay, let's see, what else can we go over? Let's go over the rotation, shall we? What you need to keep in mind is that we have, get your 3 holy power up. What you're going to want to do is, once you get your 3 holy power up, is, you want Inquisition up at all times. Inquisition consumes up to 3 holy power to increase your holy damage by 30%. Last attack in seconds per charge of holy power consumed. You want to keep this up the entire time, guys. It's a major DPS loss if you don't have that up the entire time, and use your abilities, all that good stuff. But you want to keep Inquisition up at all times. So your main priority, your main attack that you're going to be using at all most of the time is Crusader Strike, which is a holy power generating ability. The reason you're going to want to use Crusader Strike over Exorcism, you might say, hey, well, Exorcism hits harder, why don't we start off with that? What you don't realize is that our Mastery, which is Hand of Light, which reads your Crusader Strike, Hammer of Righteous, Hammer of Wrath, Templar's Verdict, and Divine Storm deals 24.6% additional damage is holy damage. If you notice that, I don't even have Blessing Light, what basically it says, you do extra fuck, I didn't mean to pop that. But what it basically means is, you do extra damage with your those abilities listed. And if you notice, Exorcism is not listed on there, which means that you can do an extra, percent of damage as holy damage when you use Crusader Strike over Exorcism, which, when you even that out, Crusader Strike does do more overall damage when you use it, so just use that instead. So what your basic rotation will look like without cooldowns is Crusader Strike, Exorcism, Judgment, get your Inquisition up, Crusader Strike, Holy Prism for me because I expect into that. And you get your 3 Holy Power up, Exorcism, Crusader Strike, Judgment, and your Templar's Verdict. The basic priority you're going to follow is Crusader Strike, Templar's Verdict first, Crusader Strike if you don't have 3 Holy Power, Judgment, and then after Crusader Strike, if Crusader Strike is on cooldown, you're going to want to use Exorcism, which will generate another Holy Power. If that's on cooldown, or both of those are on cooldown, you use Judgment, which will build another Holy Power, and that's because Judgment is the weakest ability out of those 3. If all those are on cooldown and you do not have 3 Holy Power, which is a kind of weird situation, you're going to want to use Holy Prism, which is basically your gap filler until you wait till one of these comes off cooldown. But when you activate Avenging Wrath, which allows you to use Hammer of Wrath, you're going to start wanting to use that because that is affected by the Mastery. I'm getting a lot of voice cracks, holy shit. That is affected by Mastery, and that'll out-damage Crusader Strike most of the time. So yeah, basically, right rotation's like how it is on live. It's a priority system. You use your most damaging ability that'll benefit you the most at that situation. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna give you guys a quick taste of the rotation that I use, and hope you guys pick up some tips and tricks I use. I use Guardian of Ancient Kings by accident because I'm an idiot, but pretend I popped that because you know that. If you don't know what Guardian of Ancient Kings is, basically the Guardian of Ancient Kings will attack your current target. Both your attacks and the attacks of the Guardian will infuse you with ancient power that is unleashed as Ancient Fury when the Guardian departs. Well, what I usually do is, activate Guardian of Ancient Fury, pretend that's up, but it's not. And I use the first 3 Holy Power generated to bring up Inquisition, or to use Inquisition, and I pop my cooldowns after that, give it some time, give the strength buff, let it stack to a certain amount before you pop all your cooldowns, because a lot of your attacks, the majority of them are increase on attack power, and with more strength you get more attack power. So let's see, currently, a little bit of lag there. So what I basically do is, you know, say Guardians is pop, but it's not. I use Holy Power, and then I pop my cooldown ability, which is a macro consisting of Holy Avenger, Holy Wrath, Avenging Wrath, sorry, and my PvP trinket, which basically is my blow shit up abilities. So yeah, if you noticed, since Holy Hammer of Wrath was up, that's my main priority. Priority is to use that, keep that on cooldown. And then I go back into the general rotation and do that. You know, Crusader Strike, Judgment, Templar's Verdict, and I notice I have 5 seconds left on my Inquisition, so I get 3 more Holy Power, and then I activate Inquisition to keep it back up. And rinse and repeat. Templar's Verdict, Crusader Strike, extra, and I miss because I'm an idiot and I don't cap my stats. And yep, that's basically the basic rotation, guys. It's just remember it's a priority system. You know, you want to use your most damaging and beneficial abilities when they're up. You guys went over the glyphs. I can go over stats now. I guess I forgot about stats. I haven't really. I mean, I'm not much of a theory crafter at all, so I don't know if it's changed from live service, but I don't believe so. But basically, for sure, what you're gonna want to have capped for raids. If you're interested in raids, you want to have your hit and expertise capped for level 93. If you notice that, which is target level 93 is basically for bosses. 93/skulls for raid bosses. You want to have 0% dodge chance and 0% parry chance. I currently do not have that because I am a scrub. And for your hit chance, you know, you see the skull right there. It is at 0.18. That's a lot better than, you know, whopping 1.46%. You know, priority is hit cap, expertise cap, mastery, and crit, and then haste. Once you're hit and expertise cap, you're going to want to be able to reforge to mastery wherever you can. After priority is mastery, there's crit chances, is, you know, a bit far off from mastery in terms of stat weights. And then there's haste. Haste kind of sucks balls. Don't even bother with haste. Crit so much more. Well, people have said, you know, it sims out to where haste is almost as close as crit on live servers. I don't know if it's the same for, you know, Mist Pandaria, but crit's just so more reliable, and, you know, I really prefer crit. Yeah, guys, went over the stat weights, went over talents, the talent tier choices, went over the basic rotation, and yeah, guys, that's pretty much the video. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Comment on any commentating feedbacks or any, you know, Rep Paladin feedback. It's much appreciated, guys, and subscribe if you're up for more. If you're looking for more Mist Pandaria videos. All right, peace.